Okay, team, we have a mission. Luckily, I have just the brother for the job. Fuck the team. We're gonna take Russia today. In case anybody's wondering. China again. Take them both again. Set presidents around here, make sure we still have command. And we're gonna do that again as a team of one, because I don't need any of the rest of you to bring up the presentation. I am done almost with my 90. I have about a week left on it where I should be rounding off the back end of mill videos, presentations, of bringing this droid in, hooking up onto the Wi-Fi, and just opening up the cat, right? Log factories, views, ratings, missions, Mason standpoints on systems for what that is, training camp categories for the SPAC in the office of Ted. One of these days to set up a board presentation so I could say I'm going to take Wednesday off, but I'll be here, and I'd like to do something for the company here in terms of what might be relative, and that's one day off of your timeline, Ted. How do you feel about that thing? Now, why is this important for Russia and China, obviously? So, let's go ahead. See what we can get to the system. Inside here about what I'll have cock lock ready to rock. Here's what we know. Here's what we know, boys. Inside here, these are some of the standard models. Some people have them, some people don't. They're slightly different from the other, but ours is highly closely resembled to one of these. At 4 million views in a couple of years. It's pretty good, right? You know, in terms of what the team does. Now, there's a few different ways about going at this. This being one of them. People love this MSRD video, put you to sleep at night stuff. Me, I love it. You know, imagine if we get that arm out. Not just to mention the training stuff for kids on how to set up a pack for 42 or grade board, make the standard for some Wisconsin, Washington, wherever they log farming, right, in this mill, because we had that one on the table and they missed it. Fuck, boys. Sprinkle factory. See all the sprinkles? They could be. You can pretend that they're sawdust, or you can pretend that they're sprinkles. How you making it, I mean. That's pretty good right there. That's a neat little deal right there. Pretty fast and hardcore for what it does. And that's going to be about making that equity over the timeline to do this. Fuck stocks. Shareholders are the company and the equipment itself on their service rating clock times about this saw right here. You know, when we doing stuff like that about, you know, what we could talk about when we separate field theory here to the special natures, the photons, the individual reciprocals, why that value and the approximation needs to be presented, and we'll factor like your footage out of the year, and we'll cut it down by harvesting what do they call it, reclamation of a site for 30 years, Jack Daniel bottles for their barrels out back for the oil, whatever's under the dirt out there, whatever you can park Shangri-La to be. Honestly, it's going to be a lot of this. You know, and so for us, you know, we want to make sure we get that in the mill. We want to make sure we have our mill classed for what that is. We want to make sure that, yes, this is a form of, you know, you want to know machining and things like that, but there's an M2 variable on that M1 of the mathematics in general. Yes, hydraulics and motors and two-phase motors, three-phase motors, YF over X, magnetism, and that kind of engineering is important, but so is pressure, stoichiometric ratio, and field theory stuff inside here to make that ratio correct, that it's not just, well, that's what that is, but is it automated? What's the mechanics time? How many mechanics? If these are brothers like us out in the ground doing that for the local neighborhood, inside the system, how long does it work their back? What is the timeline on it? What's the return on the cost for this tree to that cut, the energy transmission inside here? And getting somebody to realize, hey, at that shop you can learn that here if you didn't know that before. And it really wouldn't matter, quantum physics in Walmart or any grocery store, or a little potato soup lady doing her recipe. You know, that kind of the reciprocals of the town and the day, and some other things that go into that kind of calc. You know, so we got other ones inside here. You know, we could throw up different variables, because there's definitely going to be a job type when I talk about, well, let's look at the photons of our mill. what is individual job types, when we get into some of the specialty stuff, or, what's the difference in one of those tractor cutter, things that the tree with the monster pulls them down, lays them down, and cuts them at the same time, logging thing, given, what might be a timeline to sharpen your axe. Abe Lincoln? We could set this up now. Whatever model you want me to tink it out for you, you think's best for your board meeting. I mean, I could help a lot of guys. I like Scott. I like Matt. I like the other guys inside there. I think that's what that does. And remember, you want to dust that off. You want to say the presentation inside here could have that, and you want that return. I'm not just going to take your first video and let you Jaeger it out there if I've got the parachute on this one or the jump team to make sure that you can actually test it, fold the pack once. For sure, everybody in you is everybody else's square, so we knock that one off and we get back to the site being where you always do that, because it's fundamental practice. Again, next time you kick somebody off into the next place.
The X means that this tree will itself be used in moving other trees as soon as they are brought down and cut into logs.
Oh, you know it in the mill too. Oh, anyways, catch you on the next one.